Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's day is going great. Mine is. Honestly, it's been really good, and the reason why the video is late tonight is I went on a date earlier and it went awesome. It was a good time, but you guys don't want to hear about that. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's going to be a crazy video. So as we all know, New York Excelsior lost. They choked. They didn't play to their best ability. Most of us thought they'd be in the finals. Yes, Philadelphia Fusion did show up. They played amazing and they deserved that spot 100%. And of course, when a team like New York Excelsior loses, a lot of people want to put blame on the players and find out what the problem was. And it seems like a Boston Uprising player, Mistakes, wants to put the blame on Saebyeolbe. He basically called them out on Twitter and said he threw the set against Philadelphia Fusion. So we're going to cover that whole situation. But first, we're going to be looking at the LA Valiant versus London Spitfire statistics, breaking down everybody's performance, looking at the stats, and seeing how good each player did. Then, obviously, after that, we're going to cover this whole situation with Mistakes, Saebyeolbe, and we'll look at the stats from Philadelphia Fusion versus New York Excelsior, and we'll try to determine whether or not it was Saebyeolbe's fault, and just overall, what could the issue been for New York. So that's going to be the video, guys. If you're excited to watch it, be sure to drop a like on the video right now. Let's see if we get to like 2,000. And if you enjoy my content and you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button. I upload content every single day. And now let's go ahead and hop into it. Now, real quickly, if you guys don't remember, to recap the maps, they first played Junkertown. London won 3-1. Wasn't all that close. Then we went over to Lijiang Tower. This map was really close. London won 2-1. Kings Row in favor of the Valiant. They first held the London Spitfire. Wasn't close at all. Then moving over to Hanamura, it was a draw, which forced the fifth map, Dorado, and London won. I'd say a little bit convincingly. It wasn't super convincing, but they still got it. Looking at the team fights, actually, this is a really close stat. I wouldn't think it would be this close, but the reason why it is because of the Kings Row first hold. That honestly throws a lot of team fights in favor of the Los Angeles Valiant, which kind of makes it a little bit closer. If there was no Kings Row, this would be really lopsided. As for the kills, though, it's a much bigger difference. We're looking at 156 to 204. By the way, guys, if you were wondering, I am looking on Winston's Lab. This is a website that shows the stats from pretty much all of the games this season. So if you want to go on here, there's a lot of settings you can mess with, which we will probably go through most of them today. But if you want to on your own, feel free. All right, so now looking overall at the players' individual stats, on the side of the Los Angeles Valiant, we have Agilities with the most kills at 42 and then 41 deaths, a +1 differential with 30 ults. As for the first kill differential, he had 10 first kills and 11 first deaths. Moving on over to Soon, sitting in second, we have 37 kills and 39 deaths, -2, 29 ults, and actually a +6 kill differential, so that's pretty good. Probably comes from Widowmaker. And then moving down to Space, the off tank, we have 30 and 29, +1, and a +2 kill differential, 4 first kills and 2 first deaths. Moving down to Fate, the main tank, 27 and 35, a -8 KD, and then -7 on the first kill differential, which is common for a Winston, especially if you're on the losing team. You're probably going to die first a lot. Then onto the flex support, we have Kareev, 16 and 43, -27, and only -6 on the kill death differential. And then lastly, we have Custa sitting at 4 and 25, -21 and -5 on the first kill differential. Not as bad as Kareev. And then moving over to the London Spitfire, and of course, we have Prophet, the man, 55 kills, 27 deaths, a +28 kill differential, 32 ults, and this is where Prophet has always shined, man. The first kill and first death differential. I've seen games where he has +20. Even if you go back to the Apex finals and Apex playoffs overall, he was incredible with his statistics. And honestly, this game shows the same thing. +28, that's insane. +9, this is MVP performance from Prophet, 100%. Moving on down, we have Fury sitting at 39 and 17, +22, also insane. 4 ults and +1 on the first kill differential. Next, we have Birdring, 36 and 30, +6, -1 on the kill differential. Over to Bedosin, 36 and 31, which is actually freaking insane, dude. I know he's played DPS and like Roadhog a decent amount, but still, coming from the flex support going 36 and 31, that's Jonak performance right there. And I don't know if I should call it Jonak anymore because Jonak didn't do this in the playoffs. I guess we just call it Bedosin performance here, +5 and then +5 again on the first kill differential. Moving down to Gesture, we have 35 and 32, +3 and -1. Again, usually Winston's die first. Last, we have Nuss, 3 and 20, -17, -2 kill differential. Not too bad. Actually, looking at Custa, he's probably like one of the only guys in comparison to his counterpart on the other team that did really well. I guess Soon did, but he died a ton. Yeah, Cuss is the only one who compares to his counterpart on the other team stat-wise. So now let's go ahead and toggle the heroes a little bit and look at each player's performance on individual heroes. So starting off with Agilities and Prophet again. Agility's not so good on the Hanzo, and this was talked a lot on the broadcast. Agilities just did not have the level of play that Prophet did on Hanzo. Not even close. I mean, that's like a massive difference. Both have the same deaths, but then Prophet 32 kills over Agility 7. Also 9-1 on the Junkrat. Agilities is only 5-5. Brigida 5-3, 3-4. Pharah 6-1, 13-9. Prophet didn't play the Genji, but overall Prophet literally outclassed Agilities on everything that they both played. And just by far too, wasn't even close. And if Prophet did play Genji, honestly, probably would have outclassed him there too, because the guy is just incredible at every hero. Now moving down to Soon and Birdring, we can look at the Widowmakers. Actually pretty damn close here. Birdring a little bit better, +6 on it. Soon's only -1 and he's only 2 kills off, so that's really close. Birdring did get the best of him, but Soon hung in there on the Widowmaker. As for other heroes, not too much playtime for either of them. A little bit of Hanzo for them both, and McCree. Nothing serious, so it's mainly the Widowmaker. And yeah, Soon definitely did pretty good here. Moving down to the off tanks now, we have Fury 34-13 and Space sitting at 25-23 on the Divas. Definitely in favor of Fury there. Obviously, when you're on the losing team, you're going to die way more on Diva. If you're on the winning team, you don't die too much on Diva. But still, incredible stats coming out from Fury. He's been playing insane. Again, now moving on to Bdosin. As I said, he's been playing a lot of Roadhog. He's been playing some DPS, as you can see. Really good, 22-10 there on the Roadhog. Much better than Kariv's 11-15. Then Zenyatta again, 5-23, not the best. Looking at 11-18 for Bdosin, not too bad. So Bdosin had a really good performance. Moving on to the main tanks, we have Fate sitting at 19-22, Gesture 24-16 on the Winstons. Not the biggest difference, and honestly, if you look at their Orisa and Reinhardt, really similar. So not a big difference between Fate and Gesture's performance here. And as I mentioned already, Custa and Nuss, they both had really close performances. 1-20 to 4-25, not that big of a difference. Cuss actually picking up 4 kills there. That's really interesting. And there's the individual player stats. Now we can real quick look at the maps. So here we have Junkertown. As I said, this one wasn't really that close. In favor of London, double the kills, 5 more team fight wins. Fairly easy for them. And then again, Lijiang Tower, that's where they had a really close match. 1 team fight decided this, guys, and 2 kills. Then moving on to King's Row, as I said, this is where LA Valiant got a real big bolster in kills and team fights. 5 more. And then 8 more kills there. Moving on down to Hanamura, London 39-32. Team fights really close here. That's where we got the draw. And Dorado, again, kills in favor of London, 45-23. But only 12-9 team fights. That's actually really interesting there. And overall, that's this first match. London Spitfire took it 3-1. And now let's move on to the second one, where they won 3-0. And I'll try to go through this one a little bit faster. We don't want it to take as long. So starting off with Prophet again. MVP performance coming out from him, 39-16 +1. Bdosin 32-15 +6. Incredible play from him. Fury 31-8. The guy never died, +4. Gesture 31-21. Birdring 28-14 +5. Nuss only 2-19. Moving on over here to their counterparts, we have Agilities 22-29, 0 on the kill differential. Kariv actually up there, seems like he played a little bit better on the Roadhog this time, -6 actually on the kill differential. Moving on to Soon, 20-31, not as good as his first performance, +2 on first kill though. Space 20-21, pretty average, +3. And then we have Fate, who definitely did not play as good as he did in the first set, going 7-35. -10, guys. That's brutal there. Let's toggle the heroes here. Take a look at the KDs. Agilities once again on the Brigida, 1-7. A lot more Brigida actually played in this set than the first one. And Prophet, much better, 1-7 compared to 13-4. Huge difference. Hanzo again in his favor. Pharah again in his favor. Tracer into his favor. Genji in his favor. Junkrat in his favor. Every hero in favor of Prophet there. Moving on to Bdosin, 11-5. In favor of Kariv's there. Actually 1-4. Oh, Kariv popped off on the Tracer. Wow, that's pretty damn good, not gonna lie. 15-8. And then 6-1 for Bdosin. That's pretty even. Moving on to the off tanks, we have Fury 30-7, Space 16-20. Not as good as his other performance. Big difference here. Huge performance from Fury. Gesture 30-16, much better than the first day. And then Fate, obviously he struggled, guys. 5 and 19, that's rough there, but he got focused hard, didn't go his way. Moving on to the snipers, we have 18 and 7 for Birdring, and then 10 and 14 for Soon. So similar to Fate, Soon didn't play as good as he did in the first day. Birdring got the best of him, 18 and 7. He played a lot of heroes where he just didn't do anything. Junkrat, Mei, Pharah, Genji, Brigitte. That's interesting. Then moving on to the final supports, 2 and 18, and then 0 and 19. Again, real similar. Custa holding in there. Maybe he didn't get it focused as much as his teammates, but he's got a good stat line. And overall, we have 93 kills for the Valiant and 163 for London, 34 team fights in favor of London, and 16 for Valiant. This was not close, guys. Not nearly as close as the first set. Let's go ahead and look at the maps now. Dorado, 27 kills to 58, 5 team fights to 14. Again, not close at all. Moving on to Oasis, 8 fights to 3, 38 to 17. And the very last map, 67 kills coming in on this map from London, 49. This one was somewhat close, but still in favor of the Spitfire. So there it is, guys, all the London Spitfire and LA Valiant stats. Clearly, London had a much better time in their second matchup, so it shows that they used the information from the first one, they adapted well, they learned their opponent, and they showed up. So this means that potentially in a second or third set against Philadelphia Fusion, they will be able to adapt. And that's pretty much it. Be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think about all these stats. And now let's move on to the juice from New York Excelsior and the Philadelphia Fusion and mistakes. Wow, that took much longer than I thought it did. We'll try to go through this as fast as possible. So starting out with mistakes and what he said to NYXL and Saebyeolbe. So NYXL tweeted this out. On July 25th, Saebyeolbe will be throwing the first pitch at a Mets game. Pretty damn cool, right? Yeah. Moving on to the response for mistakes, he said this. Didn't he through already? Wow. I don't know if this is friendly banter, but it really doesn't seem like it. I don't think Saebyeolbe and mistakes are friends behind the scenes. I don't know if this is salt because Boston also lost to Philadelphia Fusion. I honestly have no idea what this is, but it seems like Mistakes thinks that Saebyeolbe was a reason why New York lost. So I figured, hey, if Mistakes thinks he threw, let's go ahead and take a look at the stats and see what those say. Alright, so here we are looking at the stats between New York and Philly, and I actually found a way to clump both of the matches together. So this is combined the first set and the second set, 2 sets in favor of Philadelphia Fusion, 3-0, and then 3-2. So overall, fights in favor of Philly, 66 to 54, and kills 404 to 342. So sort of close. Despite there being a 3-0, it's not that far of a distance between these stat lines. Alright, and now looking at the individual players, we can see New York Excelsior, they did flex a little bit more using their entire roster, all 9 players. As for the Philadelphia Fusion, they only used 7. So let's look at the New York Excelsior side first. It's a little interesting. So Pine, he played 5 out of the 8 matches, sitting at 76, 51, plus 25 differential, and a plus 11 on first kills and 8 deaths. Moving on to Mako, he obviously played all of the games. He's the only flex tank, 58 and 55. Moving on to Jonak, he played all of the games. He's the only flex support, 53 and 75, minus 7 on first kill difference. Now looking at Libero, he played 6 of 8 games, so more than Pine, 52 kills, 58 deaths, minus 6, only plus 1 in first kill difference. A lot behind Pine for playing 1 more game. Then moving on to Saebyeolbe, he went 44 and 40. He also played 5 out of 8 games, so Pine pretty much outperforming both Libero and Saebyeolbe. He played either the same or more games. So plus 1, 44 and 40, plus 4. Not the best performance, man. Going from a guy who is considered the best tracer in the world, the best DPS in the world, MVP caliber, all the way to only 44 and 4. Not the best, man. Not the best. I mean, that's less than 10 kills per game, guys. Honestly, that's really low. Moving on to Mano, he went 42 and 46, minus 4, plus 2 first kill difference. Moving on to Janice, 12 and 28, minus 4. Arc, 3 and 34, minus 4. Animo, 2 and 19, minus 1. Moving on over to the Philadelphia Fusion now, we have Carpe, who popped off, boys. 115 and 62. I can definitely see why people are saying he should be an MVP candidate. I honestly think it's between him and Profit. Whoever wins probably will go to that guy. Plus 53, insane. Only plus 7 on first kill difference, though. I thought that'd be a little bit higher, not gonna lie. Moving on to EQO, 99 and 75, plus 24, +2 first kill differential. Kind of an unsung hero. EQ is really good, doesn't get as much credit as Carpe. Obviously he's not as good as Carpe, but he is really close. Moving on to Sato, the main tank now, 54 and 61, much better than Janice or Mano, and -7 on the first kill differential. Hoppa, 46 and 26 on the Diva, really good, +3. Poco also 41 and 12, +3, really good. Boombox, 40 and 51, pretty good on the Zenyatta, +1. And lastly, Neptuno, the frag god on Mercy, 9 and 60. Actually a lot of deaths there, and -9 on first kill difference, but a ton of kills, crazy. Now let's go ahead and look at the heroes real quick. We got Pine, 63 and 39 on the Widowmaker. Carpe, 75 and 38. Actually, both of them played really good. Yeah, Carpe's got 12 more kills, but Pine's Widowmaker stats pretty good here. Carpe clearly takes the cake, but Pine deserves credit. As for everything else, they honestly didn't play too much of it. Little Hanzo, Genji. I mean, nothing really to know. I guess 2 and 11 on the Brigitte there for Carpe. Not the best. And now let's move on to EQO. 52 and 39 on the Hanzo. Really good. Libero only 6 and 9. That's not very good at all. As for the Brigitte, 4 and 5, 5 and 7. 8 and 3 is good, and 12 and 17. I really do think EQO shines on the projectile heroes like Genji, like Hanzo, and like Pharah. Didn't do the best on Genji here, but he is a really good Genji. We all know that. Moving down here to Libero, just kind of outclassed on everything. Maybe sort of close here on the Pharah, but not really. Not that close. Moving on to Sato, 40 and 36. As for the two tanks from NYXL, actually decent there, 36 and 30. So he died a lot on Orisa and Reinhardt, but not much on the Winston. Actually really good for Mano. Not the best from Janice. And Sato, pretty close there to Mano. He even has a better KD, +6. Sato's only got +4, so good job there from Mano. Moving on to Hoppa, 33 and 18. Moving on to Mako, 51 and 53, not bad. Poco, 41 and 12. As for the flexing, I mean, he clicked onto a lot of heroes. He didn't play a lot of them. 5 and 3 on Zarya, 5 and 2 for Hoppa. He's looking really good, man. Much improved from stage 4. Same with Sato. Moving on down to Boombox, 14 and 11 on the Roadhog, 22 and 30. And again, I want to talk real quick about Boombox and his performance jump from stage 4. Holy crap. He was awful in stage 4, man. He was making the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. Now he's making really good ones, and he's fragging out. So good on Boombox. And Neptuno, 40 and 49, Battle Mercy. Animo, 0 and 17, 3 and 29 for Arc. Not much of a difference. He did die a lot, but he gets those kills, and they are awesome to see. And now lastly, let's take a look at Saebyeolbe here. 31 and 18 on Tracer, and that's really the only place he had an impact. Saebyeolbe literally showing that when Tracer is not meta, there's not really much room for him, or there's just not much he can do for the team. Like, yeah, you can run a little bit of Tracer, and they did. He did good on it, but you can only run it so much. You need other things. You need Brigittes, you need Widowmakers, you need Junkrats, you need Hanzos. And when he's putting up performances like this in the playoffs, I mean, I don't want to say he threw, but clearly he underperformed on these heroes, and he wasn't ready. That's just a fact looking at the stats. They try to force the Tracer. I think this is more Tracer play than any other team we've seen so far in the playoffs. Way more than the London Spitfire, than the LA Valiant, the Gladiators. That's the most I've seen. So I guess all in all, if I have to say, did Saebyeolbe throw? No, he didn't. But he didn't play as good as he should have. Not on Widow, not on Hanzo. He really should have been doing it on Hanzo and Brigitte. That's where he needed to be, just like Prophet, on the Hanzo, on the Brigitte, the Junkrat. He just couldn't do it, man. He couldn't do it. Unfortunate, but, you know, if you want to throw the blame at him, you can. Obviously, Libero, he played one more map than Saebyeolbe did, and honestly, his stat line doesn't show that he did. They both underperformed, I think. Pine played pretty damn good. I think he should be sitting okay. These two, I don't know, man. Mano played good. Jonak, yeah, he played fine, but it wasn't like a Jonak performance. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think down below. I know this video kind of went on pretty long, but thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.